Alright guys, now we're going to do lesson 7.4. We're going to find the area of trapezoids, rhombuses, and kites. Now, we are going to only do trapezoids today. And I want you to look at this trapezoid and you see the height and you see that we have base 1 and base 2. Now, notice that our height is the same as in a parallelogram. It's a right angle to our base and it goes straight up and down. Okay, now I want you to watch this. If I take this shape and I spin it around upside down and slide it, now the shape is a parallelogram. I have two sets of parallel sides, and now I have this fancy shape of two trapezoids put together. So the formula for the area of a parallelogram we learned last week is area, oops, is, okay, the area of a parallelogram is A equals base times height. Now we're going to do the area of the parallelogram up here. So our base is going to be B1 and B2. And then we're still going to multiply by our height. So our area of our parallelogram above is going to be area equals base 1 plus base 2 times h. So that's our area of this parallelogram with two trapezoids hooked together. Now if I scroll down, now we want the area of one trapezoid. Now, I have two trapezoids that are the exact same size and shape, so if I divide that in half, then I have the area of a trapezoid. So my area is equal to 1/2 my height times base 1 plus base 2. Now, this is our formula for a trapezoid for every trapezoid. I don't know why this is so obnoxious. Okay, so now if we're going to find the area of trapezoids, I can also write my formula as area equals my height and then base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. I can also write it like this. So I have my height, which is 2, so I have 2 times base 1 is going to be this whole length here, so 9. So base 1 is 9 plus my base 2, which is up here, which is 6. So I have 9 plus 6 divided by 2. So now I have 2 times 9 plus 6 is 15 divided by 2. Now I have 2 times 15 over 2, so my 2's are going to cancel, and I'm going to end up with 15, and don't forget our label, inches squared. Now, the next one, the nice thing about the next one is we have a right angle in our trapezoid. So my height is just going to be where my right angle exists. So now I'm going to have area equals my height, because I'm still using this formula over here, my height, which is 7. So I have 7 times base 1, which is 8 plus base 2 divided by 2. So then I have 7 times 8 plus 2 is 10 over 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I have 7 times 5, which is 35. And don't forget our label, centimeters squared. Okay, now we're going to move on to using right triangles with the area of a trapezoid. So in this case, we're going to end up using our special right triangles. So if I were to draw a dotted line, let's just say here for my height. Now, I know that there is a 90-degree angle right here. So I have now a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now my label is going to be N is here, or N is here. So I have N, then my hypotenuse is 2N, and then my height is going to end up being N square root 3. Now, I know that this base here is 5, so that means this piece here is going to be 5. So my n is going to have to equal 2, which makes my hypotenuse 2 times 2, which is 4, and my height to be 2 radical 3. Now that I know my height, I can do the problem like normal. So I have area equals 1/2 my height times base 1 plus base 2. Now remember, I can write this in two different ways, the way I wrote it on the last slide and this slide. So I have 1/2 of my height, which is 2 radical 3, times base 1. Now remember, I'm using the whole base of my trapezoid, not the little piece that I decided the first or after the first part. So I have 7 times 5. Now, 1/2 of 2 square root 3 is just going to divide my 2's out, so I'm going to be left with square root 3 times 7 times 5 is 35. So my answer is just going to be 35 square root 3 with my label meters squared. And the next problem. The next problem, it already has our heights drawn in, and we have a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. So this side is n, this side is n, and this is n square root 2. So my n, as you can see, is equal to 9. So n equals 9, so that means this side is equal to 9, and this side is equal to 9. Now, this 20 is the whole length of this side. So now I have my formula. Let me switch colors. My formula is area equals 1/2 my height times base 1 plus base 2. So I have 1/2. My height is 9, so I have 1/2 times 9 times my base 1, which is 20, times my base 2, which is 7. So I have 1/2, 9, and 20 times 7 is 140. Oh, shoot, this is supposed to be plus. Sorry. So I have plus, let me erase 140. Okay, so then I have 9 times 27. Now, 9 times 27 is 1/2 of 243, and half of 233 is 121.5, and our label is feet squared. Okay, tomorrow night you will do kites and rhombi. Have a good night.